Thousands of striking Makro employees have marched throughout the Johannesburg CBD following a Trade Union SACCAWU issuing a 48-hour notice for a strike at all Makro stores. Newzroom Afrika's Tumaole Mohlaoli is with the striking retail workers in the Joburg CBD and joins us now. Very good morning to you, Tumaole. What are workers saying?
A very good morning, Paul. And workers are saying that they are only beginning to intensify this protest action. I'm told by organizers that this is only one of several similar kind of pickets or protests. They are happening all over the country and all over Gauteng. But let's hear from the organizer here from Gauteng, Mr. Mavuso. Mr. Mavuso, how many workers would you say are here? And is this only the beginning, or is this the epoch of your struggle?
I will say that this is the beginning of our struggle, but we had, however, started on the 26th with picketings, 27th, leading into this march, which its purpose is to go and deliver the memorandum to the employer at Makro Crown Mines, because that is where we had written them a letter about that they should come and accept the memorandum.
And in terms of the status of the strike or the picket, is it a protected protest action under the relevant laws?
Yes, it is. It's in compliance with all the laws of the country in terms of the Labour Relations Act. We had been to the CCMA, being in a dispute with the employer. I mean, after having to have negotiated with the employer. However, due to deadlocks, we could not agree, and then the matter had to go to the CCMA, and then we were issued with a certificate to engage the employer in the form of a protected industrial action.
Right. If you can just give us the rands and sense of it, what are you looking for, and how far are you with the employer from reaching each other?
We are very much far. I can tell you that out of 8 issues that we have served to the employer, setting up the negotiations for, none of them the employer has agreed to, and worst of all, the employer even want to undermine the current existing agreements, which between SACCAWU and Massmart, or shall I say Makro, they had been in existence, wherein they want to remove a certain category of our members who were enjoying the benefits as a result of the union, covering for them each and every time when we're bargaining with the employer, and those are junior managers. But in respect of any other issues, we could not agree to anything. And let me put it very much clear, it is not the union that could not agree, it's the employer that doesn't want to agree to the proposals of the union. Where somehow the employer has wanted to, in a way, appear to be agreeing, we are accustomed to be signing two-year agreements, but they've proposed to that they can agree into a 1-year agreement. But in respect of the amounts or the increased figures that the union is seeking, which is about 900 rands or 12%. Currently, the employer is standing at 4.5%, for which as a union we cannot agree to that, considering the inflation rate currently, which does not that percentage try to even cover those aspects.
And if you could give us a picture, what would be the general scale that a worker, when you're looking at about 4.5% and you're talking percentages, what would a worker be taking home and what are you fighting for?
Well, it differs because you are looking at the entry level, I think it's somewhere 6 point something at Makro. And if you look at 4.5% with someone who's earning that much, you are not even looking at 300 rands, which therefore, takes us to maybe 280 rands a month. And that is a fraction, because if you right now consider the rise of petrol, it affects commodities in stores, which on its own, the 280 doesn't do anything. It's just a drop in an ocean.
Finally, it's a protected protest action. Does that mean your workers are, absolved from any fear of being fired? But how long can they keep this up? Is it a no work, no pay policy that's been applied?
Sure. We, in terms of the law, obviously when we engage the employer, after having to have been issued with this certificate to engage in this form of an action, we know that it's a no work, no pay. But workers stand to lose nothing, considering that you only receive an increase once a year. That will have been negotiated, whichever figure at that moment. Be that the conditions of the economy of the country changes in favorable to the employer, but they do not come back and provide another raise to the workers. So they've got nothing to lose. That is why in large numbers they decided to come out to showcase to the employer about that we are serious about what we want, and we want you to meet our demands. But let me also talk to the part of the duration of the strike. The action has been based currently on a three-day program, which has started on the 26th, ending today. But that is not an end of the strike per se. We are just going to submit a memorandum, hopefully that the employer will come to its senses and respond to the demands of the union representing its members. So we'll be informed or influenced by the changes or the posture of the employer insofar as to what the memorandum says and also how they be responding to it. If it is positive, it means therefore that we may consider also calling off the strike. But if there's nothing positive, our members, because we are not a commanding union, we operate based on a mandate. Our members will indicate to us on whether they agree to what the employer will have provided or not.
So thank you very much for speaking to us. And that's, of course, the union leader here in the Gauteng province. That would be Mr. Mavuso. And just summing up exactly what the issues are, the bread and butter issues, saying that even though today is the last day, they are hoping the employer will play ball and meet them halfway, or at least accede to some of their demands when it comes to wage increases. What they're fighting for, they say, is a living wage.